I think about it because
I think we are live. Yes, we are.
we are
Good
live.
morning. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Um, Thank you so much for joining us in another episode of Spotlight. My name is Cyrus. I'm the CEO of Wendy Juno and also the proud creator of Whisper Boy. So, um, in our monthly calendar, I checked and I had two subjects to talk about because I wasn't sure between them, and I finally make a choice and picked the more important one. So the subject we're going to be talking about today is 10 ways a business podcast can emotionally connect with listeners. And speaking of emotionally connecting, um, let's go to Zara Camp, the creator of ZaraPod. So Zara, um, good evening. How are you doing today? And
Good.
what have you got for us today?
Well, hi, I'm Zara Camp from. No, you don't need to do this because you earlier. What did you say to me? You said to me, I look like a nerd with glasses on. So, guys, hi. I'm Zara Camp from Zara Pod, and I'm also the founder of Real Talk Reclaimed. Today's topic is very, very important because it's 10 ways a business podcast can emotionally connect with listeners. So, I am also the collaborative director of Whisper Boy, and I am an individual who enjoys podcasting, enjoys podcastology, and we create podcasters, Cyrus. So I'll hand it
That's
over to
absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much. Um, Thank you so much for helping the podcasters who are being trained under you at the moment. Um, the feedback I'm getting, the feedback I'm getting from them is that they you put them at ease and you help them with the videography and with the audio, and you are a podcastologist. I'm not surprised they are happy with you. So um, we had really good feedback about Chieta's shows.
Mm,
Chieta is a
indeed,
phenomenal figure in
indeed,
the line of work that she's doing.
indeed.
She has her um, at launch
Mhm.
tomorrow at
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
BST.
UK time, GMT. So, guys, if whatever you're doing, please definitely come to Chietza's live event. We're gonna put it on Readers TV. You can see
Mhm.
it at the bottom of the screen. You can see that ticker at the bottom of the screen, which Readers TV, which is our sponsor today. So, um, you're gonna be able to see Chietza on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on readerstv.com. She's an author. She's a creator. Recently, she's turned to podcasting. And one of the special things about Chietza is the fact that um, she started a movement that is many years
Mm,
ago. She started a
21.
podcast 21 years ago. I am impressed with her. I am impressed with her, and I am impressed with her in many ways. And she definitely deserves to be a podcaster, and she definitely deserves to be listened to. Okay,
Mm.
so if you Google the African AI auntie,
And yes.
you will find her. She's phenomenal. So I hope you guys pencil this event in your calendar. Just pencil it in. Um, Chietza's launch at 8 p.m. on Saturday. Please remember
Mm,
that. It's a very important date in our calendar, this date. And it's going to be a
mm.
really important launch. So, and by the way, it's not just her. Uh, we will bring you proper famous people from LinkedIn. And
Sean
yeah, we're going to have fun.
Carter's
Absolutely.
Juliet.
Yes. Yes, Julia as well. And yourself, Zara, and yourself.
Yes.
So, So today we're going to be talking about 10 ways a business podcast can emotionally connect with listeners. Um, some people might turn around and say, "Oh, what's with all this emotion stuff about
Mm,
podcasting and stuff?" Um, Listen, a listener or someone who's watching you gives you 8 seconds.
mm,
5 fingers here, three here, yeah, 8 seconds. What's that? What's the attention span? 8 seconds. So now, unless you emotionally connect with that person, right? So we're going to be explaining why you need to emotionally connect with that person, right?
mm,
So there's 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 a few reasons why you should be emotionally connecting with that person, right? Who's listening to you. First of all, you should be grateful that person who's listening to you or watching you is giving you time of the day, right? So people are busy. People don't have time to sit down and listen to you talking about something that is important to you. Okay, so um, if you package it correctly, it will be something important to them as well. Okay, so you might as well find out what's important to them and talk about that
mm,
thing. Um, I mean, that's our methodology. Okay, so we always talk about something that is important to people and solves people's problem. Okay, so I also have podcasts that uh, in which on which I speak about the things that is that matters to me. Okay, but for those type of podcasts, you can use WhatsApp and call your close friends or
mm,
sit down in a room in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. If what you're talking about is just important to you. However, if you want to connect with people, because at the end of the day, people are going to be purchasing your products, they're going to be paying for the time that you are live and you're online, right? If it's a subscription based kind of podcast, or if you promoting a service or product and your intention is to sell the products or service, right?
mhm,
So so you need to make sure you're a problem solver and you are there to talk about what matters to people. Okay, never underestimate the power of people because they are the ones who are going to promote you and share you, right? They will share your link out with other people to other people. So remember, um, there are reasons why a business needs to emotionally connect with the customer. The first reason out of many reasons you should connect emotionally with your customer is trust building. So people will not respect you if they can't trust you,
mhm,
right? So please remember that. First comes trust, then comes respect. Okay, you can never respect something you can't trust. Okay,
mm,
so emotions create trust faster than data or
mm,
logic. You can sit down and talk to me about data or how many people listen to your podcast. I don't care how many
mm,
people listen to your podcast.
mhm.
However, if you tell me how you help other people, I'll sit down and give you 3 hours of my time, 4 hours of my time. I'll sit down and listen to you, sit down and watch you. What do you think of that, Zara? How do you feel about this one, this trust building thing?
I think it's very important. The other day, I told a story about
Mm,
a janitor. So I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember the podcast's name, but there was a janitor who was, cleaning, and
mm,
the CEO was sat in front of the PC doing
mm,
data, and he didn't know
yeah,
he was stuck in something. But because the
yeah,
janitor heard that there was a situation he was going through, he
yeah,
overheard another conversation, and because he heard that conversation from somebody else, he was
yeah,
able to tell that CEO of the solution to the problem that he had. So I think
yeah,
when you are listening to a podcast, it doesn't just reach the CEO, it reaches people who are normal people, you know?
yeah.
So, like you said before, it doesn't matter how many listeners you have. What matters is the quality of information you produce.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Zara. So remember, if what you're creating doesn't solve a problem, remember,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not a solution, it's a delusion.
Mm-hmm.
So you think as youngsters are saying these days, if it's not a solulu, it's a delulu, right? I didn't say that. So anyway, moving on. Another reason why a business needs to emotionally connect with the customers or listeners is loyalty. Customers stick with brands they feel understands them. Okay, so if your listeners feel that you understand them, they feel loyal towards you. It's psychology. Don't ask me how it works. Okay, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not that smart. Please do your own research on it. So if they feel you understand them, even if you don't really understand them, if they feel you understand them, they will stay loyal to you. That's that's um, that's something that only psychologists can explain. So the next reason why you should emotionally connect with your listeners is differentiation. You know, in a crowded market where there is 4.5 million podcasters, um, feelings.
So, what number
Oh, go on,
2?
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. So, so differentiation. So the last one was the last one was loyalty, right? So the first one was trust building. That's one reason. Then loyalty. Now this one's differentiation. That's number 3. So in a crowded market, feelings, not features, will set you apart. Okay. So let's say there are 2 cameras, and one of them has more features. Which one do you think sells better? Sells more? Of course, the one that emotionally connects with their listeners and viewers. So let's say I have a camera, Zara has a camera. I try to sell a camera, Zara tries to sell a camera. I say, um, the camera that I'm selling, right, can film in absolute darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Zara says the camera I'm selling is good for your graduation party. You win, Zara, because you connected it to an important factor, um, uh, important event in a person's life. Is fantastic for weddings. That's it. You already won. I've lost if you say that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, you need to connect with them. So differentiation means go with emotions, not with features. Never sell the product. Always sell the feeling. The next one, the next reason why you should emotionally connect with your viewers is word of mouth. People share emotional stories, not product specifications, right? People never tell you I cannot live without my um, phone because of the fact that I cannot live without my phone because of the fact that it arranges the photos in a logical way. They never tell you that. They tell you I can't live without my phone because it's a lifesaver. I love it. I can't live. Have you heard people saying I can't live without my iPhone? Of course you can. What? Because that. So what do people who are Samsung users do? Yeah, they live without iPhones, don't they? So it is possible to live without your iPhone. However, that brand has done a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it
Yeah.
they have achieved that level that the person says, I cannot live without my iPhone? It's a tactic in branding that they have used, and it's fantastic. They have achieved the level of irreplaceability, right? So in the eyes
Mm-hmm.
and the minds of those customers who are hardcore fans of iPhone is the best thing, and they cannot replace it. They will tell you. Those people will tell you, I cannot live without an iPhone. I can't have a Samsung. Now, on the other hand, Samsung users would tell you, hardcore fans of Samsung will tell you, I can never ever have an iPhone. Okay, so can you see how these two brands have split the market between them? And so that is fantastic branding for you. Okay, so word of mouth. People share emotional stories, not features or specifications. Please remember that. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Another reason you should connect emotionally with your customers is repeat sales. You want them to come back. You just don't want them to. Um, so let me put it this way: um, good salespeople sell items. fantastic salespeople, they create repeat buyers. Okay, so the buyers come back again and again and again and buy the same product, and then they get used to it. And that's what you want for your brand. You want the buyers to come back. Okay, that is brilliant branding, by the way. So emotions drive habits. If they feel good, they'll come back. Make them feel good, they will come back. Make them feel good, they will come back. What do you think of that, Zara?
It's very important, I guess. We're running through the point of word of mouth, of phones and iPhone users. And I think that it's very important to remember, when you create a brand that people understand, they will come back to it, especially if there's a need there. The need has to be present and it
Absolutely.
has to be authentic.
Thank you. So the next reason you should emotionally connect with your audience in your podcast, in your business. Customers forgive mistakes if they feel an emotional bond between you and the brand, right? Customers forgive mistake if they feel an emotional bond, right? So how do you create that emotional bond? You get them to understand that you
Yes.
understand the problem, right? And that you're deeply connected with that solution that you're providing. And so if I come to you and say, Zara, can you pay me $100 for this helicopter ambulance service, which operates in such and such mountain?
Okay.
So you're like, you may or may not help. But if I show you my dog's picture and show you next to the helicopter on a stretcher as they are putting my dog in the helicopter, can you see that? That melted your heart.
Yes.
This is how. So emotionally connect with your target market, and they will come back. Okay, so if you want that resilience, emotion. Okay,
You have to have the drive for that resilience.
yeah, absolutely. So higher value perception. So emotional brands can charge premium prices. I think we already talked about the iPhone, didn't we?
Yes, we
So
did.
does an iPhone really cost £1,500? No. Should they charge £1,500? Yeah, absolutely. They are. They should.
They
Why?
are, they
Why?
do.
No, let me explain to you why. They have spent hours, energy, and money. So time, energy, and money, right? On creating this brand bubble.
Yes.
Yeah. And people go in that bubble and they feel safe and happy. Right. So that is the reason why they deserve charging that much. If you really feel they shouldn't charge you £1,500, don't buy it.
Yes.
Right. There are people on the other end of the spectrum who are saying, no, it's not worth it. I'm not buying it. So the next one is community creation. So emotions gather people around your brand. So as I always say, don't sell the product, sell the emotion, right? So if I have a I don't know, bottle of if I have a bottle of
Bottle of
water,
water,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you took the
If I
sticker
have a
off it.
bottle, yeah, I have. If I have a bottle of water, right? I will in my advertising, right? I will.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no branding on it. So I will hand this bottle of water, right, from a mother's hand to a child's hand, and then the camera will focus on the child's face,
That's the
drinks the
emotional
water, smiles, and says, "Thank you, mum." That's it. I've emotionally connected with the market, right? Appreciation, the fact that it's thirst quenching, and the fact that it is kind. it came from a mother to a child,
It's
right?
empathy.
Empathy. So I am using emotions, right?
Mm.
So I didn't say, oh, it's H2O. That's water's formula, and this plastic is
Yes.
really resilient, and it's 35 centimeters in length and I don't know, 8 centimeters in width. No, I didn't do that. Okay, so a lot of brands make that mistake. So um, emotion, right? So longevity. That's another reason why you should emotionally connect with your customers. Emotional resonance lasts longer than temporary discounts. So you can give people a discount, and by the way, never give a discount without a reason. Okay, a
Yes.
discount without a reason is stupidity. Okay, that some businesses commit, right? So give them a discount for a reason. Oh, it's Mother's Day. I'll give you a discount. It's Mother's Day,
Mm.
right? So I've connected the reason for the discount to an emotional concept, Mother's Day. Oh, it's Father's Day. You can have a discount. Is it your birthday? Okay, all right. So those of you who celebrate your birthday, come to me. I'll give you 10% discount. Right? So,
Cyrus, it's not working properly.
the microphone.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you please continue then. I'm going to
No,
fix it.
I will do. So when you're talking about podcasting can be emotional to connect with listeners, there are particular things you have to consider. The overuse of language, right? Because sometimes when we create, let's say we're creating content, I'm going to take it from the dilemma of content. The more words I put on the screen, the less people are going to listen. When you think of an image that draws people in, use an image that has empathy. Use an image, hi Lisa, use an image that is going to draw strings. A lot of people connect because of emotions. I said hello, Lisa, already. Happy Friday, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. So, like, remember, whatever brand you have. Now, for instance, like when you think of iPhones, right? When you think of Samsungs, when you think of people who buy MacBooks, Cyrus says I'm a MacBook nerd. The reason I'm a MacBook nerd is because MacBook provides a specific type of thing. It's not overcomplicated. When you think of a brand, when Apple developed what they developed it, they used empathy to sell it, right? When you think of your own brand as a podcaster, or if you think of your own brand as someone who wants to sell something, don't overcomplicate it with words. There is no real reason to do that because people already have so many things in their head that they're not going to sit and read word over word over word. Make sure that you connect with what your heart feels. That's my point. Cyrus, is it working now? Cyrus is messing around. Okay, so Cyrus went through the points that he went through. Now, when you evoke that sensory emotion, the experience, like I said to you, the taste, the smell, the sound, when you are let's say from a podcaster's point of view, I was told not so long ago, there's pull and there's push. If I sit away from the mic, I'm not bringing my listeners in. But if I sit close to the mic, you're going to want to lean closer to listen, right? When you think of a brand, make sure that your brand pulls the person who's visually looking at you in. Make sure that the brand entices them, right? You have to make sure
Yes,
that when you are collaborating, not collaborating, sorry, when you are visual podcasting or when you are audio podcasting, you have to use every tool you have. If it's just visual, bring your voice in.
yes,
No, if it's audio, bring your voice in. If it's
yes,
visual, make sure that it's eye catching.
yes.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Zara.
You're welcome.
Um, all right, so guys, now finally,
Mhm.
We're going to be talking about 10 ways a business podcast can emotionally connect with listeners. So we already talked about the reasons why you should do it. Now, let's find out how you can do it
How?
and how you should do it. Yes.
Yes.
So tell real stories, right?
Yes.
So share customers' journeys, founders' struggles, and or behind the scenes stories
Mm.
that spark empathy. So again, emotions, right? So one of the things that I've noticed about you, Zara, is that at the beginning you were like, "Oh, my stats go up, my stats go down," and I look at your stats now; they're just on an upward trend. And as long as, but don't get arrogant though. Don't get arrogant though. Let me explain to you why. My stats went up in 2000 and in 2020, 2021. I thought I've made it. I thought I've made it. And I was
Yes.
like, the stats, honestly, they were going up. I was
Mm.
so excited. And then um, they went down because I made a mistake and carried on talking about me. That's
Mm.
it. That's a podcast killer, right?
Yes.
So if you want to kill your podcast, right, talk about yourself all the time.
Mm.
If you want to inject fresh blood into your podcast, talk about other people. Bring
Mm.
in a guest, right?
Mhm.
Bring in a guest. So, so real stories. So that's what you need to do. That's that's tactic number one. Tactic number two: use relatable language. Speak like a friend, not a press release. So natural tone builds intimacy, right? So a natural tone, right? So we all know people who speak like I don't know, they're too formal, right? They're too formal, and when you honestly when you listener listens to you, they think, oh, I'm sure his seat must be so uncomfortable. He sounds like it.
This
um,
this
mm,
point, Cyrus, you're talking about. This is what me and what the Fontaine were talking about
yeah,
today. So speak like a friend because
yeah,
you need to be able to. Sometimes, yes, people have accents and they speak a particular type of way and they sit words in a particular type of space. But
yeah.
I think the main reason people drop when they podcast is because when they have a guest, they are interviewing like they work for the BBC. We can
Mm,
watch the news, right?
mm,
Everyone can watch
yeah,
the news. But when it comes to
yeah.
using relatable language, yeah, speak like a friend. Fontaine speaks like a friend. And
Fonte is fantastic. I love her
yeah.
accent. I love her accent.
Did you hear what she said about? I'll tell the guys this very quickly. How
Mm.
does Scousers say chicken and chips?
Chicken and chips.
No, it's like a ha.
Yeah, chicken and chips.
Yeah, yeah. Now you said it
And
properly.
and they say Kit Kat, like Kit Kat,
Yes, yes.
or chocolate.
Yeah, relatable
That's
language. Relatable language.
relatable language. And they have um, uh, uh, people in that area have some of the most popular accents.
Yes.
Well, people in Manchester may disagree, but um, they have. Yeah, yeah. You haven't lived here, you don't know. So, uh, mm, oh yeah. So anyway, number that was number two. So use relatable language. Number three, feature customer voices.
Mm.
Okay. So invite listeners or clients to share their experiences on the podcast. You have one of these. You have one of these that you do daily, don't you? Talk us through that. Talk us through that one.
So I invite, oh God, I invite
Mm,
people who have businesses mainly to, and
mm.
I'm very selective. So I receive a lot of messages that say to me, "Can I come on your podcast, Zara?" And I think, no, I don't think you have an idea of what I'm doing.
No.
But no, the majority of people that I've had on my podcast have been people like um, Coach Sean,
Mm.
Curtis, who it's I think it's mainly people who have done a lot in their lives and who've achieved greatness, like William
Yeah.
Planch, you know,
Mm.
because featuring customer voices, it is far more enticing to the
Mm.
listeners or the clients because it brings them people into their businesses. The reason that Fontaine is one of our new prodigies is because she has a business. It's a website. She mainly uses Facebook and WhatsApp to sell her products.
What
So
does she
she,
What does she sell again?
oh, lots of things. So necklaces, charms,
Oh
readings.
yeah,
But it's mainly
crystal,
crystals.
crystal. It was
Crystals
crystal.
and
Yeah.
shells. Crystals and shells. And her
Mm.
website is only a .co.uk, but she needs to be a .com. So
Yeah.
she's happy to use podcasting as a tool
Yeah.
to stretch out because the majority of customers I have, because they're international,
Yeah.
they have the ability to showcase their businesses in more than one country. And as
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
Cyrus,
Um,
it's more than
since
one.
since you keep getting compliments about your hair, I think it's time for you to talk about your mum's products here. Okay. So, what brand is your mum's shampoo or softeners? Was it? What brand is that?
It's so expensive. She charges
Mm.
me. Um, the products my mother has, they are called Mix Hair Care. So you can go on
Exactly.
to www.mixhaircare.com and you will
Mm.
see the brand is very, very clear. It is mainly catered to, hence why it's called Mix Hair Care products. It's catered to not a specific type of woman, but women who enjoy themselves in relation to taking care of themselves. Because if you're going to spend £7 on a conditioner, you
Mhm.
have to love yourself enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But
You have to be
genuine,
conditioned that way.
the conditioner. That's not even funny, Cyrus. Your face has gone
Sorry.
red.
Sorry.
No, but it is. It's the customers, the voices, the products that we bring forward, and I bring forward in my podcast are all products that are very unique that require a particular type of podcast to distribute them. When you podcast, Cyrus, this is what a lot of people don't understand. When someone is going to podcast, it's not about you sitting in front of a laptop and just shouting at it. You know, you're not
Mm.
talking to yourself. You're not talking to yourself.
In
Most
front of a
people think
mirror.
it's that in front of the mirror. It is when you come onto my podcast and I interview you, you are being listened to by so many countries who are going to wonder who you are. So I
Mm.
always tell my guests, please speak correctly and please be obvious about who you are. Don't come and just waffle because waffling on my podcast does not work. It does not work.
Hmm.
I won't
Absolutely.
I won't put the episode out. I can't do it.
Thank you, Zara. So, um, after number three, number four, create rituals. Consistent segments like a closing
Yes.
message or weekly tips make listeners feel a part of the tradition, right?
Yes.
So, um, there are podcasts out there
Hmm.
that have like set segments, right?
Yes.
So they have the different segments, right? And so at the beginning they have like introducing new faces in the business. In the middle, they give you the news. Towards the end, they give you something like tips about how to sound good in front of a microphone. You said that earlier, like if you're on audio, behave this way. If you're on video, behave that way. So these are the tactics that you teach your students anyway, which is fantastic. So number five, do not be scared of being vulnerable. If you've been told big girls don't cry or big boys don't cry and stuff like that. No, don't be. I'm not asking you to go in front of the microphone and cry for an hour and a half, right? That's not what I'm asking you to do. Show vulnerability, all right? Admitting failure. So I admitted earlier that that I failed because I actually did, because who sits in front of a microphone and talks about himself? Well, I did, and I shouldn't have, right? So admitting failure or challenges make you human and trustworthy, right? Because at the end of the day, we come into this world, live for a while, and then we go, right? There's no point in pretending, right? So that was number 5. Show vulnerability. Don't be scared to show vulnerability. Number 6, celebrate listeners. That is, I'll let you do this one. You do that. You go ahead.
Oh my God. On my podcast, I had a listener from Oman, right? And he left this comment, but because he had the wrong language setting on, I didn't understand it. But I saw the flag, like I saw, like he put, what was, I can't remember what his name was, but for instance, I messaged him back because he left his email. I messaged him back and I mentioned him. And he said to me, "Oh, hello, assalamu alaikum, inti meen?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, who am I?" You're the one who found me. Asking me how I am. So I mentioned him, but I tend to, every other podcast I do, I celebrate my listeners because they come back. So I mentioned the countries that listen. I mentioned South Africa, I mentioned Oman, I mentioned Guatemala, I mentioned Brazil, I mentioned Saudi Arabia, I'm not going to go through all the countries, but
so let's do a few of our listeners. Let's mention a few of our listeners here then. Okay. I'm going to go first. Keith Keller.
Oh, you're going to go first.
If you're watching.
Any Osang.
Any Osang. Yeah. Okay. So we just had
Lisa
Fevek.
Yes.
I'm going to give you another one.
Sasha. Hello. Hi, Iran. Hello, Iran. Oh my God. Hello, Sasha.
Woo, Sasha. He's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, Sasha's brilliant.
Nice. Hi. Hello. And
Happy
Susan.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Look, he says I come in peace, like he's an alien or something.
Sasha, we love
hi,
you.
Sasha. We come in peace too. So he's brilliant. He's brilliant. His sense of humor is just second to none. He's brilliant. So we said Keith Keller. Who's your next?
My next one, Juliet Stonehouse.
America.
Oh my God. I don't remember names like that. Okay.
I win. Okay, so
Susan, Mercy, Frank.
Whoa. You said Stonehouse before. Susan Stonehouse. You said her name before. You said Susan.
Frank Sandalulu.
Okay, you win then.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so
move on.
give up. So celebrating our listeners, right?
Yes.
So celebrate listeners, mention their names and read their comments or thank them in episodes.
Yeah.
So if you're watching our show, I'm not sure why you're watching our show. Just do something else. No, I'm only joking. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining our show. It's a pleasure to be of service to you. Okay, so today we're talking about an important factor, which is a success factor in people's podcasting life. So 10 ways a business podcast can emotionally connect with listeners. If you are struggling, if you're struggling to sell,
yes,
your answer is in this podcast episode here, right? Here, right? So, Zara normally doesn't agree with me, and she just went, so that means she agrees. So for the first time in a million years, so she agrees that celebrating listeners, showing vulnerability, creating rituals,
Mm,
and the fact that um, feature customers' voice,
yes.
use relatable language,
Yes.
and telling stories helps
Yes.
you
Yes.
connect emotionally. Number 7, evoke sensory
Mm,
emotions. Describe
mm.
experiences in detail, taste, smell, sound, so listeners can feel immersed. I am a fan of this, right? So you know, on a summer day,
Yes.
when your
Yes.
t-shirt is sticking to you and it's
Yeah.
disgusting, right? And you're like, I want a really, really lovely ice cream, right? And then it melts in your mouth, the ice cream, right? It gives you
Mm,
such a good feeling.
mm.
Did you imagine that?
No, I imagine I did an episode on a tea seller in Sudan, and the reason when you go into a market in Sudan, you see the women who like sell the tea, and they brew the coffee in sand, and like I remember I did that episode, and my mother started crying, and I said to her,
Oh,
why? She said, because of how you described it. And then I got a random person email me and say to me, I remember when I first went from Greece to Sudan, the one thing that I remembered was that smell of the coffee, because Greek coffee is very similar to Darfurian coffee. So
oh,
when you have an audio podcast and you're describing the taste and the smell and the sound,
yeah,
it evokes it,
that's amazing.
yes.
Yeah, it does. So
Ice cream and
you just
sticky
took us to a
toes.
desert, didn't you? You just took us to a desert, and the
Yes.
way a local person brews a fresh cup of tea,
In
right?
sand.
That
In
in
sand.
sand, and when the warm, like not warm, the hot wind
Yes.
touches your cheeks, right, and
Yes.
burns your face, and you feel like you're melting like an ice cream.
Yes.
So that feeling is the feeling that people pay for
Yes.
to
Exactly.
go on holiday in Spain, in the Middle
Mm,
East, in Portugal,
mm,
and um, follow that up with a lovely swim
mm,
in the cool water, right? So we're talking
mm,
about how people feel now. Many people's minds are actually gone
mm,
back in their memories, or in the future to the holidays they will go on soon, right?
mm.
We're still in the summer, aren't we? So
Yes.
um, a lot of places are hot, okay, um, unlike England. So number 7. So evoke sensory emotions. Let's go to
Always
number
do that.
8.
Yep.
Incorporate music and sound. So creating content without
Mm,
sounds and without music is just pointless, isn't it? So
yeah.
that's the reason why everything that me and Zara create,
Mm,
you find we make our own music, by the way.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so everything that we create, we find out first. So this is called reverse engineering. We first
Yes.
find out what people want, and then we write the lyrics based upon that, and then create the music based on that genre. So background music or sound design sets the mood. Remember,
You,
sets the mood. Okay, and then sets some sort of mood that words alone can't. But what
you,
we've done is we have mixed words and music, and that sells the products that you're trying to sell, or
you,
the services you're trying to sell easier, with more ease. Go on, sorry.
sorry, if people are going on to TikTok, you go into Creator Insight, you
Mm,
see what is the most popular in hashtags. You listen to that music, you take that music into an app like Suno, for example, right?
yeah,
And then you create music around that. So everything that we post on LinkedIn that's shared between everyone who follows us or everyone who reposts us is music that we have produced. It's not music that it's taken from anywhere else, because there's no, I think sometimes with incorporating music and sound is a lot of people use music that is either used on another person's podcast. There's no originality
yeah,
behind it. But when you start to produce your own original music, then people are more likely to, the more you play it, the more they realize this is your brand, this is your sound. So make sure that you do that. Incorporate your own music, your sound. Background music is very, you told me this, Cyrus. You said to me that, as my mentor, you said to me that make sure your music is not as loud as your voice. You know, so every
Yeah,
time
it
now
should be a little bit lower.
it's got to be like your voice has to be up there and your music has to be a
Yeah,
lot
your
less.
voice should be dominating.
Yeah, but
Your voice
sometimes it's
should be
nice to
dominating.
intertwine it, but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
you can intertwine. Yeah, you can intertwine them. Yes, but you need to get your mix right. Okay,
Yes.
you can do, yes, you can do that, but you should use a proper filter for that.
Mhm.
So the next thing is number 9, inject humor.
Mm,
Um, Laughter bonds people, right? It
mhm.
makes a brand feel approachable and human. You know, when someone's smiling, you might go to them and ask a question, right? And um, one of my friends said this about you, Zara. I said to her, what made you? Because I get feedback from people.
Yes.
Feedback is important, guys.
Yes.
Feedback
Yes.
is important.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
asked her, what made you go to her and talk to her? And then she said to me, she was smiling on the show.
I
That's
would
it.
laugh.
She was smiling, but we always laugh more than a smile. But she said she was smiling on the show, and that's the reason why she messaged you, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
number, so so smiling or telling jokes and stuff, right? So always like, I don't know, when you break the ice with people,
Yes.
uh, just tell a joke,
Mm.
not a proper innuendo, like. Like 5 seconds in. Oh, what do you call it? Oh, don't. Don't do that.
It's very
Um,
important. It's true. When you inject a humor, when you are listening to a podcast and there's like you can hear the authenticity. So today, myself and Cyrus are being our authentic selves. We are
yeah,
telling you how podcasters work so you
yeah,
understand. This is how we podcast, and this is how we have people come up to us and ask us questions because they wonder. It's quite complicated, Cyrus, to some
mm,
extent, but it's
yeah,
very, very easy. If you're constantly going to come to a podcast and just feel like you have to do it, then don't
yeah,
do it. But if like you feel like you have this authentic self that is always happy, always cheerful, and
yeah.
you have to inspire, then inject your humor into it. Sometimes I inject
Absolutely.
humor. You have to. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Fontaine injected a lot of humor. I have
Fontaine's brilliant.
I have guests. I call them guests because they're guests in my house. A podcast is your home. Make sure your guest feels comfortable, right? So, as an Arab does, I'm Arab. Inject humor. Like
Mm.
when, for example, your guest may be saying something serious, don't just laugh at them randomly. No, don't do that. But when you have moments,
Oh no.
you can say to them something like Cyrus said earlier on, you should wear your glasses, you know, or like you call me Dobby, or I don't know, Harry Potter of some sort. Inject that into your podcast because people are going to listen. It makes a brand feel approachable and human. If you're going to go to ChatGPT and type everything up and sit there and stare at the screen, I can see your eyes wandering. If you're going to read from a screen, I can see your eyes wandering. Don't go and memorize your script because I tell you this, whatever you think you can control, your guest is not going to be able to do the same as you. So inject that humor. If you feel that your podcast is a little bit stiff, loosen it, genuinely
Yeah,
loosen it because you need to inject humor. Don't make it boring because nobody will listen to it. People don't come to
yeah.
my podcast because I'm boring. They come to my podcast because I say silly things and because I find things funny. That's it. You have to do that.
Absolutely.
You need to do that.
Absolutely. What is your intention? Your
Mm,
intention is to succeed.
yes.
And how do you measure the level of success in a podcast, right? So the
Mm,
satisfaction, the stats. the amount of items that you're selling on your podcast, because podcast is a sales tool for salespeople, for
Yeah,
businesses. It's a sales tool because you're always on someone's top of mind, right? And because you're always on their mind,
it is.
because
It is.
they come back to listen to you. Okay, so it's a win-win situation. You find friends and you find customers, right? So
Yeah.
I know people. This is crazy. What I'm going to explain now. I know people who try to sell to their friends,
Yes.
right? You can make a friend out of a customer easier than you can
Yeah.
make a customer out of a friend.
After a friend, yes.
Remember that, right? So what is your intention? Your intention is to sell more. Please be more approachable. Smile more. Be more helpful, right? If your intention is to look big, don't sit next to a microphone as big as mine, right? So it just dwarfs me, doesn't it? So anyway, whatever your intention is, act accordingly. Don't go against it. Don't go against your intention. People say, I want to sell more, but you should talk about the feeling your product and services will give people more. Don't talk about your product, right? So as an example, we gave you Chietza
Yes.
as an example. So if Chietza spoke about her movement, the African AI auntie, all the time, nobody would pay attention to her. But she sits down, writes down people's problems, talks about them, addresses those issues, and that is the number one reason behind her popularity. That is the reason why people pay attention to her. That is the reason why we brought her to our show. What she is creating is worthy, yes, but she rarely talks about herself. She does talk about herself, but when it is relevant, right? That's one of her strengths. This amazing lady, Chietza, if you want to Google her now. The African AI auntie. So the last thing, guys, end with inspiration, a motivational takeaway, a quote, or a positive call to action. So what's a call to action, Zara? What's a call to action?
Follow, subscribe, find me on everything, and ask me what I do. It is literally that. Follow me, subscribe to me, tell me how you feel and what you think.
That's the best call to action. Okay. So another call to action that I want to mention here, please go to whisperboy.com, go to our shop, find out which one of our products solves your problems best. Then let us know. And we will sit down together and have a conversation about it. And me and Zara will certainly help you. So speaking of emotional takeaway, okay? So does a person's approach make a difference in podcasting? Yes. That's the reason why there are successful podcasters and there are unsuccessful podcasters, right? And some podcasters never want to change. They just stay where they are because they are so happy with all of the 6 subscribers. Okay, that's brilliant. Carry on. But but if you want to make a change in your business, make a change in people's lives, take some time out of your day, dedicate it to people. That's what we are doing here, right? So we sit down with people and talk about solving the problems, really. Now, many years ago, there were 2 shoe salesmen. They won a competition in their company because they sold a lot of shoes. Their employer thought, well, that's a fantastic thing. We're going to give you a reward. So So the person in position number one who sold most shoes, and second person, right? So number one and number two, they were picked out of hundreds of salespeople, and they put them on an airplane and sent them on holiday to a really hot destination, right? To a beautiful destination. It was an island. Um, so they were on business and pleasure on that island, right? So they were sent there to sell shoes. But there was a problem. The problem was, as soon as they landed, they found out. As soon as they landed, they found out nobody wears shoes on that island. 1,000 people was the population of the island. Nobody used shoes. Nobody put shoes on. The bigger problem, there was a bigger problem. It's not that they didn't have shoes. They didn't know what shoes were. Now, imagine two sales, and one of the person who sold most of the shoes, the number one, thought, I'm a freaking hero. Why did you send me to this island? Right? I'm a hero. Why did you send me to this island? Picked up his phone, and so as soon as they went to the hotel, picked up his phone and texted his manager and said, "This sounds like a punishment. I'm a hero. I sold most of the shoes, and yet you sent me to this island. People don't know what freaking shoes are, right? They don't know what shoes are. You sent me to this island. I'm getting the first flight and I'm coming back home." Sent the message. Number two, salesman, picked up his phone. He also texted the manager and said, "Send me 1,000 pairs of shoes. There's a new market here. We've got work to do." So the difference in attitude, same situation. So he said, "I'm not coming back until I sell 1,000 pairs of shoes," because he saw a market there. And he already saw the arrogant one is coming back home. So he dominated the market. Okay, so that's the attitude you need to have towards podcasting. Okay, it doesn't matter how many people are podcasting. It doesn't matter if you're successful or not. All you need to do is be consistent. Okay, consistency for some people means love. So that means they turn up every day. They are in your community every day. You are in their community every day. You see each other every day, and after a while, you become more and more and more interested in that person. That's how a relationship works, isn't it? So you turn up for a person, and the other person turns up for you. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to feel loyalty towards each other. And what's going to happen after so loyalty and appreciation, admiration, these are the things that get intertwined between your brand and people, right? So you're creating a podcast for them. You create a radio show for them, right? And then they come to you and say, "Can you advertise me?" Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm going to advertise What the Fontaine. Yeah, so What the Fontaine is a great show. Go ahead and check her out, right? So that's how people fall in love with each other, right? That's how people fall in love with a podcast. That's how people find a favorite podcast. Yeah, that's how
You
it
know,
works. What do you think, Zara?
I wanted to say this. What the Fontaine has said, for her first 20 listeners, she's going to give them a free necklace and free jewelry to wear, right? So she sent me and Cyrus some things to thank us for being with her and standing by her side. Um, it's incredible when you are a podcastologist and you give, because Fontaine has always been to me someone who's been very loud. And I think a lot of people don't understand this. When you are sat in front of a mic, right? It's not the same as being loud on the street. You are being loud with how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the ability to speak up, when you're by yourself and there's nobody listening, that's where the courage comes in. Because I have never ever seen Fontaine be as quiet and as loud in front of the mic before. Today was her very first day. Her podcast episode is being released tomorrow. And she said to me, it feels really awkward. Imagine you like people don't understand, Cyrus. When you are loud outside, it's not the same as when you're loud in front of a mic.
Mm,
Sitting in front of the world is sitting in front of the world online. You have
mm,
to, earlier on, I was on any show and I spoke about digital footprints. If
mm.
you are sat online, you don't have to catch a flight to be heard. You just sit and you speak, right? The more you have to give, the more motivation you give to people, the more people from other countries come and say, oh, what is she doing? So Fontaine gives us free things to, not free things, she's giving us things to thank us because podcasting, yes, it may look overcomplicate it. But if you love yourself enough and you have a voice and you have the ability to impact an individual, please be a podcaster. Because if you feel scared in front of a mic, it means your voice needs to be heard by someone like Cyrus and me first. The only reason I'm saying that is because however you feel is not necessarily how we think, and it's not necessarily how other people think of you. A lot of people have the difficulty of seeing themselves podcasting because they have all of these dilemmas. It's like, I can't do this, I can't do that because this is difficult, because this is this. There's fear. Earlier on, Cyrus, I told Fontaine this. Do you remember I told you the same thing, Cyrus? When an eagle becomes of a particular age,
Yeah,
the eagle has to pull it has to like fly with heavy wings because the eagle's wings become heavy with feathers, right? It has
yeah,
to go to
yeah.
the highest place and it starts to pull out its wings. And as soon as it pulls out its wings, it takes its
Feathers.
feathers, sorry,
Feathers. Yeah.
feathers. Sorry, I was thinking in Arabic. Feathers.
Mm.
Pulls out its feathers and then it bangs its beak onto a piece of rock or
Rock.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And it stays there for that long. So if you take it from the point of, imagine if you are and you've always been this eagle, you know you're an eagle, you have to break away the fear of not being able to come back stronger. An eagle can do it. In Arabic, we say one thing before I finish. Sorry, Cyrus. In
Mhm.
Arabic, we say, why are you going to sit with the chickens when you know you're an eagle?
Can you
Podcasting
say it in Arabic first?
in Arabic.
Mm.
What type of accent should I use? There's
Um,
71 in my
um,
head.
Gulf states.
Go for state. مالك مال الصقر. لا. ايش دخلك في الدجاج إذا أنت صقر؟ ايش دخلك في الدجاج إذا أنت صقر؟
What does
What
that mean?
business is it? What business is it to you to sit with the chickens when you know you're an eagle?
Oh,
That's
wow,
what it means. That is it.
wow.
Like, I
I
was
love that.
raised with that concept.
I love that.
Why would you bother that? Because remember, I said to you, Cyrus, before, and I tell people this, chickens have wings and they can't fly and they complain, right?
Mm.
And they look up at the eagle. I don't know chickens personally, but imagine, for example, like, you look no, but imagine when you have wings and you think you're incapable of flying, come find eagles. We will teach you how to fly because podcasting does, whether you have a brand, whether you have a business, whatever you may have, we don't see chickens. We see chickens. But if we see an eagle sitting amongst the chickens and you can see us, then come find us. Because at the end of the day, like you said earlier on, Cyrus, there is a call to action. Come find us. If you have, today we got a message from someone who said, I've done one episode of a podcast and I've not found my feet. We have people who say, well, I started one, but I don't feel comfortable enough to post it. Find us.
Mm.
We'll walk you through it. We will be able to teach you. It's not that hard. Fontaine today, Cyrus, used her phone to produce her episode. Imagine that.
Clever, clever. Mm,
She
mm,
used her phone.
yeah.
And it's because you and I stood by her side and said to her, "You'll be fine, you'll be okay, you can do it."
Yes.
Yes, she has a phone, but you can use your phone. You don't have to have the latest MacBook. You don't have to have the latest Samsung. I use Samsung and MacBook because I'm familiar with them. But I have a Samsung phone. I don't use an iPhone, I use a Samsung phone, and I can produce
Yeah.
content on that. It doesn't matter what you have, regardless of your tool. Come find us, and we will show you all of the free things you can get. You don't need to go to Adobe, although Adobe is the best. Genuinely, it's the
Yeah.
best that you can get.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But you don't need to. If you need to use Adobe, come find me and Cyrus. We'll teach you. But genuinely, there's so many different ways that you can podcast. Use your phone. Fontaine used her phone today. And tomorrow, when her episode launches, guys, listen to it because it's incredible. And she
Mm.
doesn't have what's it, like the whole setup of plugins and all this. None of that.
Where can I find her? Where can people find her?
Oh, what the Fontaine. So if you go to Real Talk Reclaimed, it is the second, what do you call it? The second podcast below it. It's the
On top.
second one. No, sorry, yes, it's on top. Yes, it's on top.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's the second.
What
How
the
do I?
Fontaine?
Yeah, what the Fontaine. It's pink.
Yeah, second from top.
What the Fontaine. The second from
Pink. Yeah,
top.
pink. Okay.
Yes, it's the pink one.
So, thank you so much, Zara. So,
You're welcome.
guys,
I
before
wanted
we
to know.
go,
Sorry, guys.
go on.
No, I finished.
Oh, okay. So, thank you, Zara. So, I just didn't want to bring the show to an end without
Okay.
sharing this last bit with you guys. So,
Yes.
there are some of you guys who say, I'm not comfortable in front of the microphone. And my question to you is, you're a business person. Are you comfortable with extra £5,000 or $5,000 a month or $10,000 of sales? Yeah. So record and talk to people, right? Talk to people. That's it. Sometimes you have to sit down in front of the camera or in front of the microphone and just say, come to me. Just like what Zara did earlier, right? That's what you did, Zara. Come to me. Send me your episode. It can't be any simpler than this. Come on, guys. Right?
Email it to me. If your email doesn't want, give me your password. I'll load it up.
That is what makes you a genius, honestly. Come to me. Send me your episode. That's what people are doing these days, right? If you're lucky enough, she will sit down and edit you. So she will edit your work and post it to
On
Spotify and the rest of the 2 million stuff that you upload stuff to. So she's a podcast head. So anyway, so I was gonna say, if you worried about your image and how you will look like, please remember, people don't care the way you look like. They just come to the market to solve a problem, right? They come to a website to buy I don't know, wedding dress, right? If your podcast is about wedding dress and you're there to help people, just make someone's day less stressful. That that bride to be is already stressed. Like their stress levels is on 2 million. 2 million on the scale of on the scale of 1 million. The stress level is on 2 million. So so talk to them and show them how to find the best dress. Okay, sometimes sitting down with someone and just talking, just making them feel like I am sat with you. I am here to support. Moral support. That's what it's called, right? So you are making their life easier, right? So this person is gonna marry someone else, right? It's gonna split his life or her life with someone else, and her individual life is going to be left behind. It's going to enter a married life, and it is nerve-wracking, and they are stressed, right? So just find them a nice wedding dress, right? Instead of letting them to go 1,000 shops, just let them know which shop But if it's you, just let them know it's me. I can bring you that dress. I can sell you that dress. Make your life easier.
Cyrus, I wanted to say that
Mm,
if anyone is worried about podcasting and it's
mm,
your very first podcast, I will sit with you like
mm.
this and I'll watch you. And if you want me to cut myself out, it's interesting to be able to do that. So, guys, genuinely, before we finish this, I just wanted to say, please don't be afraid of speaking. If you
Mm.
are, I'm a teacher, right? What do teachers do? I'm a teacher, I'm a podcaster. I do a lot of things, but I teach little people who say to me things like, "I don't know the password for this phone. I can't do this. How do I do this, miss?"
Zara, you might have to explain what you mean by little people. Zara
Oh,
means
little, oh,
uh,
5-year-olds. It's because in Arabic we say
5-year-olds. Just to avoid confusion, she means 5-year-olds
so.
when she says little people.
I can sit with them. I can sit with a part. If you want to podcast, sorry, Cyrus, for interrupting you. If you want to
No, that's
podcast,
fine.
please, 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 I'm saying to you, there is no reason for you to fear anything because I will stand and sit and Cyrus will be there and I can cut myself out completely and just put you in there. I'm just there going, yay. You know, you have the cheerleaders, we will cheer you on. You have audio, you have visual, and they come
Hmm.
together. You are
Yeah,
sat in the middle, and I will clip you so it's only you. So don't fear anything. I will sit with you. I will send you the Zoom link or the StreamYard link. I will go through I will say to you, send me the clip. I'll sit with you for 3 months. I'm going to give you my time for 3 months and distribute you on every single audio platform you can think of. You want to be on SoundCloud? I'll do that. You want to be on Apple? I'll do that. On Amazon? I'll do that. If you want music, we will do that. If you want
absolutely.
any bits and pieces. We do everything together because you know what? We care about our podcasters. So for our podcasters, thank you guys. And Cyrus, thank you very much for today. And I'm so sorry for taking over. Not.
Oh no, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's actually a pleasure, and thanks for sharing your knowledge with people. Sometimes people need to hear these things, Zara. You need
No,
to,
I know.
they need to hear that.
It's
In
easy.
Whisper Boy and Zara Pod, we do sit down with people, and we
Mm,
hold their hand
yeah.
until they are independent. So
Three
I was going to
months.
say,
Mm-hmm.
so for just to end the show, I was going to say different people can have different podcasts. If you
Mm,
have like our
mm,
most recent client, if you have a shop, if you have a coffee shop,
yeah.
share stories about
Yes.
farmers,
Yes. Yes.
roasting journeys, customer
Yes.
rituals. If you're a fitness or um, a gym instructor, if you're a fitness instructor or gym instructor, talk about the struggles that a person has gone through, or
Mm,
you had a client that they went from zero to hero. You can share that story with people. You need to create a podcast like that if you're a
yeah.
fitness instructor. If you have a bookshop
Mm,
online, just host author reviews. Read books
mm,
to people and share your reviews and your opinions
mhm,
about books with
mhm,
people. If you're a fashion brand, that's fantastic, isn't it? So talk about designs, inspirations, and the certain type of fashion that people use in weddings, in birthday parties, in ceremonies, etc., etc. If you
mhm,
have a restaurant, share stories involving chefs. Okay,
mm,
so get
mm,
a
mhm,
chef.
mhm.
That's an interesting story. Get a
Yeah,
chef to record a podcast, right? Um, if you're a tech startup, bring
yeah.
in customers' case studies, right? And then,
Mhm.
when someone sat with a piece of tech and they have this aha moment and they find a
Yeah.
workaround with a particular device. Those are really good for creating podcast episodes. If you have a travel agency,
Mhm.
record customers' travel stories. I
Mhm.
I created a um, brand for my friend. Oh yeah, um, he said to me, he's a fan of hiking, and he's somewhere in Europe,
Mm.
and I created hiking Viking. for him, and he's the proud owner of hikingviking.com now, right?
Mm.
So if you're a travel agency, share experiences abroad, inside your own country, and if you're a pet supply brand, if you're a business that sells dog food or pet food or accessories, pet accessories, talk about people's love for their pets, right? Or funny stories involving their pets, right? If you're a wellness or therapy practitioner, offer soothing conversations, soothing music, and also healing stories. They are also popular. And finally, if you're a wine brand, so we have a wine brand, by the way, BONOVINOTTE, Bono Vinotte. So
Vino
we have
Vinote.
that brand, yeah, that wine brand, Bono Vinotte. We have
Vino
that.
Vinote. Claramente. Querer viviendo algo. Vivir como tú quieras. Después, cuando duele tu oh, no, no. Cuando duele tu mentes, no pregunta nosotras. Yeah. So if
Guys,
you
I
had
think someone pressed the wrong button. Someone pressed the wrong button on Zara. So can we bring her back to English?
wait,
So
right.
so remember, if you're a business, you should have a podcast. Remember that, and that will help you be more successful. Okay, there are no reasons for you to not be more successful.
Mm.
If you have any reasons that makes you not loving extra success, write it in the comments. I would love to find out. Okay, that would be the subject of my next podcast. If I find a person who says, I want less success and not more. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. You could spend your time anywhere, but you spent it with us. And I am grateful. We are grateful. Zara, any closing comments?
We love you. Come find us.
We love you.
Connect.
Find us.
Bye, guys.
Connect with us. Bye, guys.
Whisperboy.com. Bye, guys.
Zarapod.com.